Welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to talk a bit about Amazon account health and what you need to know. So when your boss is selling on Amazon, they will have an Amazon Seller Central account. So this allows them to sell on Amazon, and Amazon are a great company, especially if you're a customer. But if you're a seller like your boss, then Amazon can be quite difficult about different things, and then they do what we call suspensions. So they will suspend seller accounts. So I want to kind of talk to you a bit more about this so you have some knowledge about what happens. So if your boss, and fingers crossed this won't happen, but if your boss has their Seller Central account suspended, that is basically their business closed down until they can get their account back. We absolutely want to avoid this happening because obviously your boss needs their business to pay themselves, to pay you and any other staff, and just obviously to have a successful business. So getting suspended is a really, really bad thing, and it's unlikely that it and kind of anything that you do will ever cause this, but it's good to kind of have that knowledge. And it can happen for lots of reasons. One of them could be something like not having invoices from a proper supplier to give to Amazon if they ask for it, because they might want to check where they have bought their products from. So it's really important that everything that is sold on Amazon is genuine and not fake, and that reputation is really important to them. So Amazon are really hot on that, and they pay a lot of attention to it. And so sometimes they might ask your boss to provide invoices to prove where those goods were bought from. So when you're sourcing, it's really important that you're sourcing from a good, reputable supplier that supplies invoices from those products. And in another video, we'll go through kind of what makes a good supplier, what makes a bad supplier, but just so you're aware that obviously invoices are really important. Another important thing is if you've ever worked for another Amazon seller previously and their account has been suspended and you've had access to their Seller Central, you need to tell your boss, because this could affect your boss's Seller Central. It's really important to be honest, and it doesn't mean they can't work with you. It just means they have to do things slightly differently and make sure that they're protecting their account. So please make sure you tell them if that is the case. So invoices is quite a common way. Another reason is IP, so intellectual property or intellectual property rights. So BuyBotPro has an inbuilt IP radar which will tell you if a brand is likely to have this issue. But I'll give you an example. So let's take L'Oreal, which is a brand that everyone knows. L'Oreal will protect their brand. So the name L'Oreal will be protected, and that's their intellectual property. So it's their right to use that name to sell those products. Now, if someone else uses that name, they can then get into trouble. So ultimately, your boss is reselling other people's products on Amazon. And some brands are okay with that and some brands aren't. So that's one of the things that can cause the suspension. So it's really important that you check that IP, intellectual property radar in BuyBotPro. Again, I'll cover that more in a later video, go into more detail of it, but just so you're aware. So in order to then get your account or your boss's account reactivated, they will be sometimes asked to submit invoices, which is why it's really important to have that paper trail, and also sometimes a POA or plan of action. It's not something that you will need to be involved in, but it's just really good for you to have that knowledge about how it works on Amazon if they suspend an account. And as I said, I'll go into a bit more detail on kind of reputable, good suppliers, what makes a bad supplier, and also the IP radar, the intellectual property, in a later video. But that's just kind of an overview of Amazon suspensions and what you need to know. See you in the next video.